Hey guys. So, continuing to do cleanup out here in the above ground beds and the raised beds. And I'm clearing out the tomatillo and tomato bed here. And I've run into a couple things, and I just wanted to talk them through with you really quickly about how to clean and the easiest ways to do a few things. So, first of all, when you come into a mass that's like this and you have all these overgrown bits and pieces around, the first inclination is to reach in here, right, and try to find where the root is to give it a good yank and get it out. But if you have a bed like this one, everything is so intertwined that that's almost impossible to do easily unless you're very strong and have a lot of time on your hands. So what I do is usually starting at one edge. We'll take a look at this plant right here. It's in a short cage, but I just want to show that to you. I will start by just clipping. So here's a big limb, just clipping the big limbs off and then pulling them out. And see, this one still has a tomatillo on it. They're small, but I'm going to keep them. I'm going to just do a batch of small tomatillos. And I'll pick here, a couple more. They're in pretty good shape. So you can get closer and closer to your roots. And that way, again, you're not trying to pull the whole damn thing out. So by the time you get to the end of your roots, you'll have something that looks like this. And if you leave it a little longer and you can't pull it out, and you don't really want to dig it out, don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. Just cut it down as much as you want and let the roots rot in there. I'm coming in, I'm going to put about 4 or 5 inches of dirt on top of this, and this is just going to rot in here. If I'm lucky, a tomato plant or two will come back. So that would be cool. And because I'm putting so much more dirt on here, I think volunteer tomato plants or tomatillos would be awesome. So if I come across some that are a gucky mess, like this moldy one, I'm just going to leave it there. And I'll probably get a plant for next year. So don't feel like you have to pull the roots and everything out. These roots are deep, right? So just cut down as much as you want, especially if you're going to bring in more dirt. Again, there is, if we don't have a really strong freeze in the winter, there's a likelihood this plant may come back, but big deal. Awesome. Great. Sounds good to me. Here's another one. I could pull the roots out if I had both my hands, but I'm just going to leave it. Another thing is, as I go along, when I cut, I'm kind of just leaving bits and pieces around there. That root in the corner, I'll go ahead and cut down. This is a sunflower, one of the mammoth ones, so beautiful. But what I'm doing with the bulk of my cuttings is just throwing them here along this fence line, and I'm going to just let them rot into the ground, and I'm going to bring in wood chips and cover it up. I am harvesting tomatillos, but some of them are just so small that it's not worth the time. Let's look at this one. It's not worth the time to process that one. So I'm just going to leave these here, and you'll see there's a tomato or two in here too. This is a pathway I use, and if some plants pop up here next year, hey, that's awesome too. I didn't have to plant them. So I'll put all my debris in here, let it rot into the earth, making my ground better, and then I'm going to bring wood chips in anyway, so it's all going to get buried. So make everything easier on yourself. Don't feel like everything has to be perfect and cleaned. Don't feel like you have to dig out every root, because you don't. And make things easier on yourself. So that's what I have to say about that. I'm going to finish up getting my tomatillos. I'll together. I've got this. I've got a, you see that bag over there already? And then I still have some spread throughout the yard. Then I've got to get into this bed, and then the last of my cherry tomatoes over there. But anyway, let me know if you guys have any questions. I'm going to try to ripen up a bunch of green tomatoes that I found. I don't have great luck with that, but we're going to give it a try. And yeah, so there you go. Oh, and we'll do some tomatillo seed collection. Somebody asked me about that, so I'm going to show you guys 2 different ways to do that. Super easy, super fast. All right, you guys, thanks for watching. Let me know if you have any questions.